All right, welcome into the show, everybody. Sorry we're a couple minutes late. I wanted to make sure I have some technology on the sides of me that I need to have set up so that I can see things that don't just, come from a radar. So I wanted to make sure that I had those set up. So everything's good to go right now. We're ready for storm mode here in Northwest Indiana as we have storms already moving in to the region right now. A couple severe thunderstorm warnings out of these. And this line, as we mentioned, just to kind of just get everyone up to speed in terms of what we've got going on. This line of storms is going to produce some strong wind. All right, we're already seeing very strong wind gusts being reported out towards the west. We've had gusts over 70 at times, and that's really going to be the thing today is damaging wind. We can't rule out tornadoes with this, but we don't have a huge tornado set up here locally. What we do have, again, is the capability of the atmosphere to produce real strong winds up in the atmosphere, and a lot of those are being brought down with the downdrafts and the updrafts and the mixing with these thunderstorms. And so again, damaging winds are going to be the primary threat with this line of storms as it moves from west to east. We also have some hail within it as well. Gurnee had some hail that was off towards the north. And then I'm just taking a look at some of these latest warnings right now. So that's kind of the latest report coming in, but we've had some hail reports and real strong wind gusts out towards the west. Okay. All right. Let me introduce myself. I'm meteorologist Matt Wentz. I am a meteorologist. A lot of folks aren't that are online, and that's fine as long as you have a good source. Check out all of our new sponsors now. We've got a lot of new folks in the room. We've got Romans Roofing, TNT Tree Service. Those are two real crucial ones you might need after the storm. Again, this is a free broadcast for all of our sponsors. I'm not going to spend time with our sponsors on this, but please, if you need anything, they are all family-owned and operated businesses here in Northwest Indiana. So research them. Let's get you through the storms first, though, okay? So let's get to the radar right now. This is what we're looking at. And in terms of big picture across the rest of the day, this is it. We've got one line to get through, and once this is through, temperatures are going to start to drop. In fact, we're going to be in the 40s by this evening, a huge drop. We're already seeing 50s out towards the west. Meanwhile, we have poked up to 77 in Gary out ahead of these storms. The difference with these storms versus the storms that we had, a couple weeks ago and what we kind of deal with in early spring is that the storms today have a good atmosphere to work with. It's humid outside. Our dew points are in the low 60s. That is enough to support severe weather. And with temperatures going into the mid and upper 70s in some spots here in the region, we really are going to pack a punch with some of these storms. There's good capability with it, okay? All right, so here's what we're looking at right now. Let's see, we've got pea-sized hail in Benton County right now. Can't rule out chance for a brief tornado with a cluster of storms from Homer Glen to Frankfort. We'll keep an eye on that one as well. All right, I'm going to stop this radar. I'm going to give us a radar check. We're going to kind of go through and talk where these storms are right now, and then we'll go through and kind of analyze them a little bit, and we can go back to big picture again, okay? All right, so our first storm right now that we're going to track, you can see we've got these yellow boxes. These are your severe thunderstorm warnings. So Lake County, you've got two separate warnings for this line moving in, but there's a pretty strong storm moving into the county kind of out ahead of that line. This storm is just to the southwest of Cedar Lake right now. Cedar Lake, you've got some heavier rain that's starting. You're getting those big raindrops. And boy, did we go from sunny to cloudy in a hurry, right? We've got the storm clouds moving in now, but we're starting to get some drops of rain in Cedar Lake, and it's about to get heavier down to your southwest. You're about 3 minutes away in Cedar Lake from a real heavy downpour. There's likely hail with that. And yes, we do have some lightning with this as well. Not a ton, but there is some lightning with this. Another little cell just popped up to the north and east of Lowell. These are not your severe storms. You are warned in areas of southern Lake County for this line coming in. This is that main line. Northern half of the county, we're popping some downpours right now. This is not the severe part of the storm, though. We've got a good downpour over New Chicago heading into Lake Station. Portage, you'll get a downpour out of that. Not severe, but that could develop into a thunderstorm. We've got another little tiny downpour, but it's brief and heavy that just moved through Dyer right now. This will get up into the Griffith area here in another 3 or 4 minutes or so. That's not severe either. May have some small hail with that, though. Your bigger show is out towards the west. You can see this line approaching Frankfort right now. And again, what we're going to watch within this line is damaging winds. At least that threat is there for a lot of folks out of this line. But we're going to watch for those little, we talk about all the time, the little eddies, the little spin-ups that develop, almost like you're pushing your hand through a bathtub. You get those little swirls on the outside of that. That's what we're going to watch for in terms of this line as it moves in for those quick spin-up tornado potentials within it. And that's similar to what we had a couple weeks ago with the tornadoes in areas especially of Lake County. So we're going to watch this line. Again, it's still out towards the west. We've still got a little bit of time till the main part gets into Lake County. But until then, we're popping some downpours there you see in Lake County. All right, let's go further to the south in Newton County right now. This line, as it kind of arches out, it's kind of ahead of itself down in the southeastern half of the line here. And that's what we're seeing here in Lake County, or Newton County. You're starting to get into the action now with heavy rain, and we've likely got a shelf cloud moving into Newton County from Morocco up towards Enos, over towards Schneider, dealing with likely some gusty winds. You see the shelf cloud moving in, lots of lightning behind that. And this storm is moving in pretty quickly, getting into areas like Brook. We've got heavier downpours for you. Kentland, you are now in the thick of it with heavy rain and likely driving wind with this. And this extends off towards the north. Again, getting ready to head into Lowell here. Probably another 10 to 15 minutes before the main line gets to you. You've got some rain out ahead of it, though. And then over towards Schneider and Shelby. We were tracking tornado warning through your area, gosh, a couple weeks ago with those storms. And the severe weather is back with this line moving in. All right. So far, just severe thunderstorm warnings. We get further down to the south, though. We do have a tornado warning. This is south of our coverage area. This is coming out of Westville, Illinois, getting into the Covington and the Attica region. This is heading towards Lafayette here over the next 15, 20 minutes or so. They will either be warned or not, depending on the rotation with this. But if you have friends or family down towards the south, give them a heads up. Monticello will be in the path of that storm eventually as well. But again, that is south of our Newton and Jasper County and Stark County line, right? We just serve Northwest Indiana. So heads up to your friends and family down there. There is a tornado warning for them. All right, in terms of this line, remember, we can look at the line of storms, but one of the things that we want to look at when we're looking at this radar, we're looking at reflectivity, okay? This radar is showing us how heavy the rainfall is. It's showing how much of the radar is being returned to the radar site, coming back because it's hitting something heavy. And it tells us where the storms are, tells us where the rain is, but it doesn't tell us where any tornado threats would be. And so that's why we look at our wind radar, right? We can look inside those same storms, and we look at the radar product that we call velocity or storm relative velocity, either way. So what we're seeing here are the winds. And remember, the red is going towards the radar or away from the radar. The green is going towards the radar, okay? And what we look for is that really tight couplet where you have the winds kind of mixing and they form, that little tight couplet where you see it kind of wrapping around itself. That tells you that those winds are spinning. And so that's what we're going to watch as this line moves in. Couple areas I would watch right now. Again, one would be this one right here. This is with that cell just north of Morocco. That will get into the Roselawn area that we're going to watch into Schneider. There's some weak rotation with that. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Again, this is not something I would warn for tornado, but it's something I have my eyes on for sure, as there is some rotation. Don't forget, storms rotate all the time. They really do, all right? And most of the time it's benign. It's not something we have to worry about. But given the nature and kind of the setup of our atmosphere today, we could see some squirrely storms around here, and certainly this could be one here, getting into Lake Village with some strong winds here, probably in the next 5 to 10 minutes. We'll have gusts 40 to probably 60 miles per hour with that as that moves in. But you can see some of the brighter colors here. Whenever you see these brighter colors, that's where those real strong winds are within these storm systems, as long as they line up with the actual storm itself. All right. Another little cell down towards Cedar Lake right now, packing a wind gust just out towards the west. We've got some pretty strong winds with that. That is not the reason why you're under the warnings, though. Reason you're under the warnings is for this line back towards the west. Notice how we've got a couple little areas here of inflow, not really well defined yet, but it's going to be something we'll also need to watch as this moves into areas like Hammond, eventually getting into the Gary area, Whiting, all those areas. Whoa, I just dropped that. That's not good. 1 second. I got to get my iPad with the radar tracker here. There we go. So in terms of this line, this will get into extreme northwestern areas of Lake County here, probably another 20, 25 minutes or so before this reaches you. But that's the part of the line I would keep my eye on. We certainly could have something spinning up within that. And so we'll bear some good watching on that. All right. In terms of everyone else, Porter County right now, not much doing. I'm going to go back to our reflectivity here. Porter County, not much doing. It's gotten a lot darker for you, that's for sure, as these storms are starting to pop. And what you get is this main line, all right? This is the one that we're watching, that we're going to watch in and out of Northwest Indiana. But you get these pops. There's a lot of lift with this as this whole thing's moving in. It's just lifting the atmosphere up, right? And so there's so much lift that you get these pops of lift out ahead of it. And so that's why you get these thunderstorms, these individual little showers that pop out ahead of it, because the entire atmosphere is lifting as the line is moving in. There's just tremendous amounts of energy in the atmosphere. And it's just incredible when these things develop and kind of how they move through. All right. So in terms of big picture thinking, I just want to briefly touch on this, and then we'll go back into these storms. I'll let you see kind of the movement of these. In terms of big picture thinking, our wind threat, again, is our biggest thing that we're going to be watching here over the next couple hours. If you're out in LaPorte County right now or Stark County, where these storms aren't there yet, even Porter County and Jasper County as well. If you're in any of those counties, just a heads up for you, you want to, anything that's going to be loose out on the patio, the deck. It's been such a nice day, right, outside of the morning rain, but we had a nice little period of weather here this afternoon. If you have toys, kids' toys outside, which my goodness we do, or anything that's going to blow around, just take the time now to go secure it or put it in the garage, put it away, okay? In terms of hail, there's a hail threat from this as well. So if you have the option of parking the car in the garage or carport, I would do that as well. Those are some things you can do to prepare. And just make sure your cell phone's charged, all right? Make sure all your devices are charging right now in the case that some of these winds really get going, which I think they will, and we're already starting to see that. But both of those things, can cause some power outages, and I would plan on a power outage. Doesn't mean everyone's going to see that. And then in terms of severe weather in general, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning just got extended there. In terms of this severe weather in general, not everyone is going to see severe weather out of this, okay? But a lot of you will. So I just want you to keep that in mind. Some of you are going to see a general thunderstorm, and you're going to say, that was it? All right, that's how this works, okay? Others are going to see some damage from this, unfortunately. So that's our job, is to show you where that damage is going to be. But your job is to keep it realistic, okay? Not all of Northwest Indiana exists in your backyard, all right? So just a heads up from that. Those are some things that, a lot of people are chatting about, post-storm and stuff like that. And I just want us to have realistic expectations of how this goes, okay? All right. Yes. So let me get to some of your comments here, and I'll get back to the radar. We've got a lot of reports coming in. Again, this chat is for you guys, all right? This is your broadcast, so if there's something you want to see, throw it in the chat. But in terms of the reports, you guys are always so good at talking to each other about what you're seeing in your yard, what you're seeing outside, wherever you happen to be. So that's really helpful. So read the chat as well, because a lot of people comment on what's moving in. All right, let's get back to radar analysis, because I don't want to miss out on this as these storms roll in. This cell in Lake County right now is starting to get a little bit bigger here, heading towards Crown Point, St. John. It's just south and east of you right now. Real heavy rain. We've got some hail with that as well. This is getting into Crown Point here shortly. You'll get clipped by it. Maryville, you've got a better chance of seeing this little lone cell out ahead of the main line. But that one's packing a punch. We've got some strong gusty winds within that. Also some very heavy rain and some lightning. Our line is now moving into areas of Newton County. Newton County getting hit pretty hard right now. Brooke, this storm is right over you right now, getting towards Mount Ayr. This will get into the Fair Oaks area and along the I-65 corridor, and probably it's already getting there as you get south of Fair Oaks exit, but off towards the north, the Roselawn area, getting up into Lowell. You've still got a few more minutes on this. But this is a line. Again, you'll see a good shelf cloud. This thing will roll in, and you're going to have real strong winds and very heavy rain for about a good 5 to 10 minute period, and then it should back off a bit. Can't rule out hail within that as well. All right, we are now getting rotation out of that cell we were tracking out towards the west, and we have a brand new tornado warning now. This is now for areas of northern Newton County and southern areas of Lake County, okay? Most of Lake County not in this. You're probably going to hear the sirens, but again, this is south of Crown Point, all right? So this is brand new, hot off the press, brand new tornado warning. There you go, northern Newton County, southeastern areas of Lake County. This goes until 3 o'clock Central Time, all right? And it's a storm capable of producing a tornado. So let's look at that capability, shall we? We'll go back to wind, and we'll track where this storm is. There you go. So that's, I don't see anything doing up here. It's getting ugly back towards Chicago, but this is a storm we're watching. And it's this area right here. It's not a real well-defined area of circulation, but there is enough circulation. And again, this is, kind of far away from the radar site. Not really, but the way it's moving, we're not seeing, real good read of this. But that circulation is just the south and east of Schneider right now, heading towards Shelby. So if you are in areas of northern Newton County, this is extreme northern half of the county, north of Enos, or if you're in southern areas of Lake County, please get in your safe place right now. This storm is it's packing a punch outside of the tornado risk from this, but this storm is capable of producing a tornado with that area of rotation you see right there. which is basically on the Lake Newton County line right now. Okay, the county line. That's where the storm is tracking right now. Okay, I'm going to go in a little bit further here. Here's the town of Thayer. All right, if you're in the town of Thayer or in the Shelby area, you need to be in your safe place right now. That tornado or that potential tornado with this area of rotation right here is likely right overhead. Our radar is getting updates every minute. That's good news. But again, that 40 to 50 seconds after the radar updates are crucial because this thing is moving. It's not just stationary. So it's likely over the Thayer area right now. This includes the Sun Aura Resort area along East 111th North Street. Here's Thayer. This storm system is going to be moving in from the southwest. Thayer and Shelby, between you runs the Kankakee River. This will be crossing that area as well. I would imagine no one is out canoeing or doing anything like that or kayaking on the river here with these storms moving in. But if you know anyone in this area, please shoot them a message. Either get them on this coverage. And again, the good thing about our YouTube and our Facebook coverage is that if your power goes out, you can still have this, right, on cell phone data. Your internet's going to go out, but you can still use cellular for it. So, guys, make sure if you're in Thayer or Shelby right now, even in Roselawn, just to be safe, make sure you're in a safe place, all right? So that means lowest floor. If you don't have a basement, that's fine. You want to get into an interior room, like a closet or a bathroom, and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, okay? Those are the things that we do to practice safety. You want to get shoes on as well, because you never know. Worst case scenario, you've got, some issues with your house when this thing goes through. That's worst case scenario. Most people that doesn't happen to, but you want to have shoes on when you're done with that, right? You want to be barefoot stepping over all that stuff. And then if you've got a bike helmet or a baseball helmet, football helmet, we always tell the kids in weather school when we do visits to the schools that we need to make sure that we put that on just to protect your head. Not a fashion statement, okay? We're not going for fashion when we have severe weather. Okay, so my friends down in Shelby, Thayer, heads up to you. This same cell is going to be working towards Range Line, Dinwiddie again, Forest City, Roselawn eventually, okay? All those areas right in here need to be in their safe place. We'll see if they extend this warning in the areas of Jasper County. We'll see, okay? So that storm is capable of producing a tornado. That's our tornado warning for southern half of the county. We've got another chunk of wind here on the northern side, and I don't want to let our guard down on this. We've got some powerhouse wind moving through Lowell right now, or getting into it. Is there? I don't know if there's anyone that has, coverage or is watching us right now from the Lowell area, but you've got some strong winds getting ready to move in if they're not overhead already. So let's not let our guard down on that one, okay, as we go through time. All right, so we still have that tornado warning. Yep, circulation continues to approach Shelby and Thayer with the tornado potential continuing. That's totally what we're talking. So, guys, we've got this latest radar scan, we've got two areas of concern here. This one obviously is one that's tornado warned. This Lowell wind is really starting to pick up right now, okay? So I would prepare for some wind damage in and around the Lowell area. This will get just south of Cedar Lake. It looks like it'll clip your area, but we've got some strong wind there. There's that. Okay, let's see, Winfield, let's see, tornado warnings. Yeah, so here's the deal, guys. A lot of you have tornado warnings going off in Lake County right now. It all depends on the jurisdiction of where you live, but the way things work in Lake County for most jurisdictions is that if there is a tornado warning in any part of the county, your siren's going to go off, okay? And I do not see a tornado threat right now for our folks anywhere north of Cedar Lake, okay? This is a southern half of Lake County issue right now. There's a storm coming in, and a lot of times what we will do in some of these jurisdictions is they'll do the sirens if any bad weather's coming in, all right? And keep in mind, those tornado sirens are not meant for you inside the house. You are not supposed to, it's not that you're not supposed to, but they're not meant for you inside the house. Those are meant for people that are outside, all right? That don't have way to get warning, they're not connected, that they hear that and then they go inside. If you can't hear a tornado siren from your house, that's not anyone's problem. They're not meant for that. You are supposed to have your own way to get warnings, whether on a phone or weather radio or Facebook or YouTube, whatever it is. These are the ways that you need to get warnings inside the house, okay? Those tornado sirens are just for folks that are outside. A lot of people think they're supposed to hear those from inside the house, okay? All right, here's our storm right now. Shelby Thayer, that rotation is either over, you were just off towards the northeast right now. But I would put, Forest City is not under tornado warning, but I would certainly put one there. Forest City, you need to be in your safe place right now as that same storm is moving in. That same area rotation is heading up towards Range Line. We mentioned Dinwiddie. DeMont, this storm is going to head just north and west of you, at least in terms of the circulation. The worst part of it is going to head just north and west of you with that wind. Lowell getting rocked right now. Yeah, I see some comments coming in about Lowell. Debbie says bad in Lowell right now. Yeah, this thing is producing some real strong wind for you. All right. Okay, I don't see, and again, there's a lot going on with these storms. My main concern right now is any areas of rotation and tornadoes out of this, okay? And I don't see much of a tornado threat right now for northern Lake County. There's a little rotation near Cherville, but it's not enough to warn. It's really nothing I would be concerned with. I do not see a tornado threat out of these right now. Again, this can change in 5 minutes, but I don't see anything right now off towards the north. It's really this section right here with this chunk that went through Lowell and this other one just down to the south and east getting towards Range Line. Those two areas are the areas of concern in terms of any tornado development, okay? We are seeing the winds starting to pick up with this storm getting into the Maryville area. We do have some strong winds with this. I don't want us to let our guard down on this as it's approaching the I-65 corridor. Green Acres over towards New Chicago, Lake Station, and Hobart heads up to you. There's a decent wind gust coming in with this, likely on the order of 40-ish is what I'm seeing, at least in terms of radar. And then that main line is out towards the north and the west still. This may miss a lot of Lake County. I'd be very happy if it did because we've got real strong winds coming through the western and southwestern side of Chicago right now. And this will get into downtown and go offshore. But the good news about this area of very intense winds is it's going to head off out over Lake Michigan for a little bit, okay? We'll have to watch that southern end. All right, so let's get back to the radar once again. In terms of our radar coverage, you can see we've got hail within this as well. Let me go to hail radar real quick, and we'll look up kind of what the hail's doing within these storms. Yeah, we've got a couple cores of hail in some of these storms. Our hail radar updates every 5 minutes. We don't get live updates like we do with the wind. And again, that's a weather service thing, but you can see there's some pockets of hail. So Crown Point, I think I saw someone that had some hail in Crown Point, St. John, Maryville, likely some hail moving in there. And then we've got some decent hail with that tornado warm storm off towards the north and the west. That radar doesn't help us out a whole lot. Excuse me. All right, so let's go back to the radar again. Again, this is our main line moving through. It's now getting into areas of Newton County and Jasper County getting hit hard. Jasper County now on the front end of this. So Rensselaer, you're picking up some really heavy rain and strong winds right now with this. That line extends up 65. 65 is a mess right now, anywhere from Jasper County up into southern Lake County with this line of storms right over 65. So Fair Oaks getting hit hard. Here's our storm. Look at the hail. They've got good hail with this, I guarantee. Just to the north of Shelby. Heads up, Dinwiddie and Range Line and areas on I-65 between the west 101st or 181st Avenue exit there, and then down towards the south once we get to the county border. They're going to experience some good hail on I-65, okay? Probably doing it right now or in the next 5 minutes or so, okay? But Range Line and Dinwiddie, those are our next two towns. Shelby getting blasted right now with hail, strong winds, and yeah, we had that tornado threat, which is now past you. It's now heading towards I-65, okay? All right, so we've got that storm. Let's get up into Lake County right now. Maryville just had some good downpours. Crown Point, here's your hail just south and east of town. That hail is heading out towards the east, but you're still dealing with heavy rain. Cedar Lake, you've got another round of very heavy rain moving in with gusty winds, likely some small hail for you in the Cedar Lake area. And then off towards the north, Maryville, you just got hit pretty hard with that initial area of some hail and strong winds and heavy rain. There's more heavy rain off towards your north. You're going to get a little bit of a break here before we watch the secondary line kind of move in. And then off towards the north, this is a decent thunderstorm with good wind, but it's not as strong as the other parts of the storm. Once you get into Gary, south of town towards Ross, over towards New Chicago area, these areas are going to pick up some heavier rain. But again, kind of missing you in the Gary area, at least with this first one. East Chicago, you're catching a break right now. Hammond, you've got a break, but that next line is on your doorstep. Highland, you've got a break in the action right now. The initial storm is east of you, but the bigger storm's west of you right now, okay? Cherville, you're dealing with some rain. St. John, same for you. Nothing too bad right now, though. This main line is getting out towards the east. So this line is kind of broken. You can see how it's not a complete segment here. We've got kind of this initial edge here that's, poking out ahead of everything. And then you get the secondary line here, which will clip western areas of Lake County. And then we've got general rain back towards the west. In terms of our severe threat, this is what we're watching, though, okay? It's this main line that's moving through. All right, let's dive back into that tornado warning. Let's see what we've got on some of the latest radar scans now. So this is looking more damaging wind to me than tornado, but we still have that tornado warning going for a little bit longer here in areas of southern Lake County. But this still has some real strong winds with it, at least on this leading edge. Right here, what you're looking at with these bright colors near Range Line and Dinwiddie are some very strong winds. And those strong winds will eventually get up into the Hebron area. In fact, let me time these out. I'm going to time this particular part of the storm out as it's going to get into Porter County here shortly. All right, let's see. So we're going to time this out. We're going to do something like that. And it's moving around 55 to 60 miles per hour. So these things are moving pretty fast. So this area of strong winds with the tornado warned storm, I'm not sure it'll carry the tornado warning into Porter County. It will certainly carry a severe thunderstorm warning with it, as we're already seeing. But in terms of the worst part of this storm that we're watching, it would get into the Hebron area, another 5 minutes or so, into the Boone Grove area, 9 minutes. We're talking Aberdeen in 15, West Hill in about 17, and into Valparaiso in about 20 minutes, okay? Eventually after that, areas like Lakeview in 22 minutes, Wanata 23, then up into the, Pinhook area in about 30, okay? I don't want to go too far beyond that. But that's tracking the most dangerous storm that I see so far down towards the south. That's bringing that tornado warning to Range Line right now, okay? So Hebron, about another 5 minutes for you until this storm moves in. Again, this is the part of the storm that I see, that rotation, which is becoming more damaging wind threat as it's kind of gushing out. I don't see as much rotation right now. That rotation's weakening a little bit, okay? Off towards the north, I still don't see any tornado threats. For areas of Lake County, I still see some pockets of strong winds. But by and large, the strongest winds are Crown Point, Cedar Lake, Lowell, down towards the Shelby area, okay? Those are the areas that I see the strongest winds within the storm right now. We're going to keep our eye on this. Just something a little weird going on there that's approaching Winfield. I'm not too concerned about it right now, but again, there is some rotation. Again, these storms are interacting. Remember, the atmosphere is fluid, and so much like a fluid, you get all sorts of movement going on. And as they interact with each other, you can get little areas of rotation. It doesn't mean there's a tornado out of it, but they're interacting with each other, and that's what we're seeing here on the wind radar, is that interaction with all these different storms kind of coming together and doing their own thing. So there's that. Okay. All right. So in terms of our big setup now, I want to head back towards areas of northwestern Lake County. Okay. These are for our folks in Hammond, East Chicago, Munster, Highland, Griffith, over towards Gary, and even Dyer. All right. Very strong winds coming in from the west right now. All right, this is the main line that we were tracking out ahead of this little glob that developed on the leading edge of it. And I would prepare for some damaging winds in those areas. Okay, you've had your severe thunderstorm warning. It continues to exist, but some of these brighter yellows that we're saying, this is where we're packing winds 60, 70 miles per hour in pockets. Not everyone's seeing it, but we certainly are getting some real strong wind. And that strong wind is about to cross the Illinois-Indiana state line, and now it's going to be our problem in mainly northwestern areas of Lake County. So I would, just for fun, be in your safe place in all these spots, because we could see a quick spin up with this, but we also could see some wind damage from this with these intense winds. So Whiting, get to your safe spot right now. Again, it's not a tornado threat. It's a very strong wind threat, likely on the order of 70 miles per hour. Again, there's pockets of it. We certainly could see that. Hammond, that wind is moving in right now down towards Lansing. Munster, you've got real strong wind just south of town. That's going to move in another 30 seconds or so for you. Highland, this is about 2 minutes away from you. Griffith, we'll see if it hits you. It may clip you just north and west, but either way, you've got some strong wind coming your way, and then eventually getting into East Chicago, okay? All these areas, we've got really strong wind getting ready to cross that state line. You can kind of see some of the brighter yellows here. This little pocket of wind, especially this one down to the south, all these are heading off towards the northeast around 55 miles per hour, okay? So areas of northwestern areas of Lake County, again, get to your safe place just in case. I would imagine we're going to have some tree damage from that and some wind damage from that as well. Let me go back to reflectivity. Here's what the radar is looking like right now. Just a real intense line. And we've got two real areas to watch. This is the main line that has a lot of wind energy with it. but this line is really doing its damage here. We've got heavy rain and wind with that initial part I just circled there. And then down to the south, this is really coming together. I would be wary of this area right in here. This is just from past experience with forecasting these lines. We're going to need to keep an eye on how this comes together right in this area, and that would include Valparaiso. Okay, I'm just giving you a heads up on this. The way we've got kind of the leading edge surging out down to the southern end of this, and the way the northern end is kind of trailing back. From experience, what I have seen before is as this part surges out, we can tend to get, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, this is just pure 15 years of experience of radar analysis, we could get a spin up on the northern end of it up here. As that surges, just picture pushing your hand through water, and that push is coming into the Couts area, right? On the northern end of where that pushes, you can get spin ups, especially where you see it kind of leaning back and heading behind. So my folks in Valparaiso right now in Porter County, just heads up, just make sure you're plugged in right now. We'll continue to track this, all right? And then down to the south, areas of Newton, Jasper County. Newton County, it's just solid rain for you right now. Jasper County still getting hit real hard down towards Rensselaer. We've got heavy rain, hail, and strong winds with this. Wheatfield, you're next. The worst part of the storm looks to be just to your south right now, but Wheatfield, real heavy rain's going to start with some hail here shortly. We'll keep our eye on that. But Hebron, boy, you're in that storm that's coming in from the southwest, and you're about to get some hail. Let's go back to the wind. That's the one we need to look at. Yeah, real strong wind heading into Hebron right now. This will get into Boone Grove. Couts, you're not going to be missed by this either. You can see this wind's kind of gushing out in the leading edge. Area I would watch is right here. We still have some rotation with this. It's not warned. The tornado warned part of the storm, the part that we're watching is now out of that polygon. So range line, you're okay in terms of tornado threat right now. But we're watching this wind surge on the leading edge here with a little bit of broad rotation. It looks like it kind of went away with that last scan, but we need to keep a close eye on the storm as it approaches Valpo from the south and west, okay? So just heads up for you folks. Meanwhile, off towards the north, we're just dealing with 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, at least right above the surface in Hammond, Highland, and East Chicago and Whiting right now. Those folks that are in those areas, I'm going to turn my attention to the comments now. If you're in Whiting, East Chicago, Hammond, Munster, or Highland, what kind of wind are you seeing right now with these storms? Because we've got 70 to 75 mile per hour wind just up above you. It doesn't mean that's coming down to the surface, but there's a good chance some of that is coming down to the surface. So what kind of wind are you guys seeing right now in those areas? If you could throw that into the chat, that would be great. All right. So real strong winds up there. The storm getting into Winfield, down towards Boone Grove, Hebron, still packing a punch. Again, this is going to approach the Valparaiso area here shortly. Michelle, it's not quite there in Chesterton. It's not to you yet, but it's getting there shortly. Sean says Hebron lost power. I don't doubt it, Sean. Thanks for that update. Faith says wind and rain in Munster picking up. Okay. Faith, thank you for that. Very windy in Highland. Thank you for that, Miss Sniff. So I appreciate that. And wind is insane in Hessville, part of Hammond. Megan, thank you for that. Yep. And Angelo says it's starting in Lakes Four Seasons right now. Susie, thanks for that update. She says wind came in very loudly and strong. And I'm seeing a lot of reports of very, very windy in Munster, Highland, very strong winds as well. Okay, so it is coming down to the surface, as I'd suspect. I mean, I don't doubt it, but just looking at radar, there are some crazy winds off towards the north. All right, let's go back to the wind radar again, just to kind of level set with everyone. I know this radar isn't the sexiest radar to look at, all right? When you look at it, it's just a bunch of red blobs. This tells me so much as a meteorologist what's going on inside that storm, and that's what we need to look at. We all know it's raining, all right? The rain isn't going to damage your property unless we get flooding. But here's your rain. Okay, this is the sexy one to look at, all right? You see all the big storms and all the areas of bright pink, and there's loud colors on this. This is your reflectivity. It shows rain, and it shows us where hail could be, all right? That's it. What I need to look at as a meteorologist is the not-so-pretty one that shows the wind on it, okay? Because we need to see where this wind is perhaps rotating and where it's causing damage, all right? That wind is going to be the thing that we've been highlighting all along was the primary threat with these storms. Okay, so what is that wind doing right now? Well, let's start up in Lake County. We've got two separate storm areas that we're watching. There's this one off towards the north with real strong winds. You see those yellows showing up in there. That's indicative of 70-plus mile-per-hour winds. Now, keep in mind the radar isn't shooting at the ground level. It's up into the clouds. And as it gets further away, it goes higher up into the clouds. But this one's between cloud level and ground, like pretty much up where the trees are and above in the Hammond area. So we're getting a really good read of very strong winds right there, like right up above us. And a lot of you are reporting those are coming to the ground with some very strong winds. So this is going to get into the Gary area. East Chicago, you've got real strong wind right now. Hammond, it's still strong, but it should start to back off. That's good news. Munster, you should be getting better as well. Gary, heads up to you. This is right over the Gary Chicago International Airport as well. The Steel Yard, boy, we called you out when that tornado warning was heading your way a couple weeks ago. The Steel Yard, all of our workers there, we've got real strong winds moving in. And I would treat this like a tornado just because the wind is so strong. It has the potential to cause damage like a tornado in those areas. So just a heads up to you folks in Gary. We've got real strong wind moving in. It's over Whiting in East Chicago right now. This should pass the north of Hobart and north of the Borman. It's right along the Borman right now, but it's on the north side of it. It should stay there for now, at least in terms of that real bad strong part with the winds, okay? Then down to the south, there's a secondary area of wind that's getting into the Valparaiso area. This is going to eventually head into the US 30 corridor. Wanata, this will get into your area. South Haven, up towards Westville. These storms are heading your way as well. And the wind's not quite as strong, but this is still packing a punch. I mean, we're talking 60-mile-per-hour winds within this, which is no slack. That will bring limbs down and disrupt some stuff on your property, okay? So that's the area of wind we're watching. If you've been with me for the last 5 minutes or so, we were talking about the potential for some rotation within this. The good news for you folks in Valparaiso right now, I see that rotation has backed off a bit. This is more of a straight line wind damage kind of setup, at least from what I'm seeing right now. That area that I was talking about that we need to keep a close eye on is right here. Here's your surge of wind. Okay, we've got strong wind, but I'm telling you from experience on the northern side of that, where it kind of backs off, right in here is where you can get a spin up, all right? And that would track, let me just track that area, okay? I'm just giving you the earlier heads up I can get here. This area, again, there's nothing right now, okay? There's not a tornado warning with this or anything like that. I'm just trying to predict the future. Again, that's what I do. And in terms of that area of rotation that we need to keep an eye on, that I would imagine would develop here, we're talking Sedley in 2 minutes, South Haven in 6, Lakeview in 9, Northwood Park in 9, Chesterton, this area of rotation will get into your area. Nothing to be scared about right now, but I'm giving you a heads up. In about 12 minutes, we would watch that portion of the storm, which I just don't like. I don't like the way it's kind of bowing out and how you kind of had that inflow going on. That would get into Chesterton in 12 minutes, okay? So a heads up for you. We'll be here to track it, all right? We're going to get through it. It doesn't mean we're going to have a tornado out of it, but just kind of looking at radar analysis, I would be keeping a close eye on this area right here. There's not much doing right now, but we need to keep our close eye on it, okay? So we've got real strong winds right now moving into the Malden area, Gates Corner, Smoke Corner as well, getting some strong wind. This will get into Coolwood Acres, Crestview here shortly. US 30 now getting it once you get out towards the west, south of that Sedley, north 475 west kind of turnoff there that you get off of US 30. That's where we're starting to see it pick up along US 30. Valpo itself, you've got the dark clouds, you've got the heavy rain moving in, but we also have strong winds, which are just southwest of you, which will be getting in to Valparaiso proper here shortly. All right. Off towards the north and the west, here's our powerful wind now heading mainly out over the lake, but we're still getting clipped in East Chicago, Pine. Here's Gary. Boy, Gary getting wind right now, but notice how the worst of it is just to the west of you. This is going to move something like that. So it may clip that area, but I would expect wind damage from that part of the storm as it continues to move north and east, okay? Debbie says, Boone Grove, 70-plus mile-per-hour winds. Debbie, thank you for that report. Yeah, JP, absolutely. Yeah, that's what we're keeping our eye on for sure with that. Boy, all your comments are just floating in. I can't keep up. Power out. Matt says power's out. 500 west and 100 south. Cassandra says very dark with hail in Hobart. Power going out in Couts. Big wind south of Valpo by Aberdeen. Keith, thank you. That's what we're just tracking here. Sounding crazy. Continuous growling noise in Miller Beach. Wow, Marcus. Been a relatively nice spring so far. Spring rain in Cherville. Yeah, Cherville's out of it, Ian. It looks like you're just going to have good rain with some lightning. South Crown Point, Janelle. Worst of the storms east of you right now. And then Ben says Coutts getting hit pretty hard. So let's dive back into that again. Let me get down towards the Coutts area. There's your strong wind moving through 5 points corners up towards Malden. Coutts getting some real strong wind. Let's go back real quick to reflectivity. And there you go. So there's where our storms are right now. These are already, this is how fast they're moving. They're already getting into Stark County. So North Judson, Knox, you're next with some heavy rain and some hail with this. For all my folks out towards the west, this area right here, if you're west of this line, your severe weather threat is over. We've just got a general rain with occasional lightning to go through for the next couple hours. But that's it. So that's all my folks in Crown Point, Cherville, down towards Lowell, areas of Newton County. You're completely out of that severe threat, okay? So go on with your afternoon, all right? Your rain is going to last for maybe another hour or so, but you're done. Boy, whew, this is just ugly looking in areas of Porter County. Lake County still getting hit hard. Lake Station, Hobart, Portage, you're getting hit hard right now with that initial batch. And then Valpo, boy, it is really going to ramp up in a hurry. I would imagine it's starting to do that right now with strong winds. We've got hail moving in as well and just incredible rains. It'll look like a hurricane outside. This thing is right over US 30 right now, getting into Valparaiso. All right. Down to the south, we mentioned Coutts was getting hit hard. For Coutts, the worst is actually north and south of you right now, believe it or not. Here's some of these strong storms down towards Medaryville. These are getting into North Judson. There's some hail with these as well, in addition to strong winds. Notice that severe thunderstorm warning has been extended out towards the east, as you'd expect. Areas of LaPorte County now included in this, and Stark County, you are now in it as well. LaPorte itself, we've got a downpour out ahead of this, producing some heavy rain, couple lightning strikes there as well. All right, let's get back to the wind. Look at this notch that's developed here. This is what we've been talking about for the last 15 minutes. Right here, you get inflow, and it's just two lines. You've got a line here and a line here, and that's just what happens. If you have two waves coming together, where they come together, you can get a spin up in here. So let's look at the wind radar. I want to track this and make sure there's nothing going on. Well, it's nothing yet, but boy, is this an ugly storm getting into Porter County. Valpo down to the south. This is now at the Porter County Airport down towards Coutts. I mean, that wind is really cranking for you guys. Am I right? I mean, it's really moving in. Portage, Hobart right now, you're in it. Portage, you've got another, I would say, 3 or 4 minutes before you really get in the meat potatoes of the storm system. South Haven, same for you. You've got probably another 2 or 3 minutes before this moves in. And this will head up into Porter and Chesterton. You still have some time, though. You've still got a good 5, 6, 7 minutes before this moves into your area with some strong wind. But that wind is rocking in Valparaiso right now. You can see it again. When we look at this radar shows wind, all right? I need to see wind as a meteorologist. I know it's raining. I know you've got hail in spots, but I need to keep a close eye on that wind because that is our main concern with this system. And that also shows me where a tornado could be developing, all right? And I don't see a tornado developing right now. I don't see any signs for it. That's good news. But the bad news is you're going to have some tornado-like damage with some of these strong winds coming down. I mean, these winds are cranking from Hobart over towards Valpo. All right. Okay, let's head off towards the north. Porter, Chesterton, you see how you're pretty quiet right now in terms of the wind. The wind is light. You're getting the rain and the heavy rain off towards the north. But here's your line of wind moving off towards the north and the east. And it's moving around 55 to 60 miles per hour in terms of this wind gust as it moves in. So just crazy there. All right, Sarah says, holy moly in Valpo, the Walmart just lost power, says Bill. Raven, yes, Maryville's out of the worst right now. Danielle says that power's out. Amanda has lights flickering in Portage right now. Danielle, oh no, that's not good. Tree fell on neighbor's house, not good to hear. Let's see, Chris says hailing in Gary's Miller Beach neighborhood. Thank you, Chris, for that. Worst of the wind is still just offshore right now. Denny says the power's out in Aberdeen from the strong wind. And Chris, I'm glad you brought this up. Chris says calm in Chesterton right now, and that's absolutely true. Chris, it's going to go from 0 to 60 in a hurry here in another 6 or 7 minutes for you, okay? So heads up there. Kyle, thanks for reporting on our YouTube channel. Kyle says power out at Valpo High School right now. So thank you for that. Bryce, yeah, St. John's out of the worst. Roselawn, Crystal is getting better, so you're good. Anastasia, the nasty part is getting out of Hobart and Portage right now, which is good news. So there's that. Amanda, in terms of St. John right now, you've just got general wind. The worst is out of your area as well. All right. We are really cranking the wind with this storm, though. Models showed this too. This is exactly what models showed, was the southwest to northeast movement of a powerful line of storms with wind damage. All right, and that's the primary threat, and that's what we're seeing right now. All right, if you are in, I just don't like the look of this. I mean, right here, I don't like this. It doesn't mean there's anything happening, but we need to have a quick heads up for you folks in Westville, LaPorte as well, and I'm going to extend this all the way up into Chesterton and even Michigan City. All those areas right now, just be ready to head to your safe spot as this storm moves in. There are incredible winds coming in with this, but on top of that, this area right here is just prone to rotation. If the wind does, if the wind does one thing for a second, we could easily get a spin up out of this portion of the storm. All right, I don't see anything imminent right now, but what I do see is just this powerful line of very strong winds getting through Porter County right now that are going to spread into LaPorte County here shortly. Okay, so my folks in Wanata right now, even down in La Crosse, that wind is starting to pick up. My folks in Westville and Chesterton, it's quiet as anything. I mean, you've got the rain, you've got some hail around in spots, but that wind hasn't done anything for you. It is really picking up down towards the south. Back in Lake County, we still have some wind offshore, but the severe part's past you right now for most of Lake County, so that's some good news for you. We can clear you out. I don't see anything else coming behind this, all right? We're not expecting this. Is a one and done today, so there's that. And then down towards the south, you can see we're still packing some strong winds in Wheatfield. Worst is north and east of you. And look at this coming into North Judson right now. We do have some broad rotation with this. It doesn't mean it's a tight rotation or a tornado, but we have to keep an eye on this in North Judson. I would be in your safe place just in case for two reasons. You've got real strong, potentially damaging winds moving in right now, and we also have that broad rotation risk. And tornadoes can spin up real quickly from these, and I don't want to see that happen, and we're not prepared in North Judson. So make sure you're in your safe place in North Judson right now, okay? And then off towards the north, here we go. Valpo's still seeing strong winds. Worst of it is north and east of you now. This will get into Wanata here shortly, into the Haskell area, into areas like Alida. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your town. And then Westville, about to go from 0 to 60, as I mentioned here, very, very shortly. Look at that wind being picked up on radar in Valpo. All right, let's go back to our reflectivity again. You can see the rain that we've got on the leading edge of this. North Judson about to get slammed with this. We've got good hail with this storm as well. If you are in North Judson, even Knox, make sure you take shelter from this one. And I would get in a safe place in your house just in case. This is just an ugly storm moving in with some hail, some strong winds, and we had that rotation there as well. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that one. But then off towards the north, we've got good hail getting into Burns Harbor. Portage, you likely just had some hail from this. Porter, Chesterton, the system's closing in on you. And I mean, look at this. The chance of rain 100% for you. We've got this moving in from the west. This is kind of coming in more of a southerly trajectory. And you guys are right in the middle right now. So you're about to get the good old squeeze play in Chesterton and Porter. This will extend up into the Dune Acres area with some hail, some real strong winds getting ready to move in, and some very heavy rain. It's, again, going to really pick up in a hurry for you, okay? Let's go back to the velocity again. I'm going to put this in motion so you can kind of see the motion of these storms. And notice how that wind really picking up. Again, the radar beam is getting higher in the sky. That's why you're seeing a lot of these colors elevate and it looks scarier as it goes on. It's because the radar beam is reading a higher sample. It's getting higher into the clouds or up into cloud level where that wind has been strongest. So we do expect it to pick up, but still some incredible winds within this whole line as it's moving north and east. Plus, there are winds that are increasing within this with that severe threat. So that's kind of the look of the radar as everything's moving north and east around 55 to 60. Okay, that's where we're heading right now. Ryan, thank you for that. Yeah, the airport just had an 80-mile-per-hour gust. We have a brand new tornado warning. Is it for my cell? It's for the North Judson cell, the one we gave you a heads up on just a couple minutes ago. My goodness, did we call that or what? All right, we've got a brand new tornado warning in North Judson right now. This does include Knox and Hamlet. It's not a surprise. This is that storm we were just covering with that potential area of rotation that was moving into North Judson. Again, radar doesn't have a real good view of this, so that's why they're warning it just in case. But this tornado warning goes for another 21 minutes, just got issued. This does include Stark County, also into northwestern Pulaski County as well. And again, severe thunderstorm capable of producing tornado, North Judson, there you go. moving northeast around 50. So let me time this out for our folks down in Stark County right now. Let me get that off the screen. All right, there we go. So let's time this out for you. This is our rotation right here. It's moving something like that. Knox, you are in the path of this. North Judson, you should be in your safe place right now, okay? Moving about 50. Let's just do around 53 just to give you an earlier heads up in terms of timing. So that area of rotation within this that is capable of producing a tornado over North Judson. We'll get into the Toto area in 5 minutes. It's ironic. Knox in 10. So Knox, you have about 10 minutes till this gets to you, okay? So get in your safe place now. Out towards Hamlet in 16, Grovertown and in 19 minutes, and Donaldson in 22, and then out towards Coons Lake in 22 minutes. Got about 6,000 people that need that heads up. So if you're in any of those areas, please share this broadcast with them so they can be safe, okay? Again, I do not do this stuff for clicks, all right? I could care less about that. I care more about the protection of your friends, family, and our property here, okay? Let's get through this. Off towards the north, I still don't like the look of this. It doesn't need to be tornado warned yet, but just a nasty inflow right here where we go from nothing to something in a hurry. My folks in Chesterton that said it was quiet, is it loud now? Are you getting those strong winds moving in? Because on radar, they're moving in right now. The strongest winds with this are getting into Westville right now, Holmesville, down towards the Haskell area. Wanata, you're still seeing real strong wind from this as well. You can see this whole thing just kind of bulging out. We've got real good outflow here. So the wind is coming down within the storm. It does this. It kind of surges out in all these different directions like that. And that's why you got kind of this bow shape to it as that wind surges. It just surges out. Remember, it's some cold air coming down as well. That cold air is heavy, dense, can't go in the ground, so it goes out. That's why you get that rush of wind when you have a real strong downdraft like that. And then you have to watch. We have to keep an eye on the close spin-up potential or quick spin-up potential on that northern side, okay? I want to get back to our North Judson cell real quick. Let's look real quick at this. This isn't going to tell us anything about a tornado. It'll tell us where the rain is. So our line is becoming a little bit more of a line. It's a little bit more linear. You can see how we've got some kind of cohesive shape to it now. It's not as messy as it was before. Up here is where you get your eddy. Michigan City, just a heads up for you. That's an area I'm watching really closely for rotation, getting ready to head in. You've got another probably 5-10 minutes till you get hit in Michigan City. Chesterton seeing some rain, real heavy rain, hail, and wind right now. It should be pretty nasty. Yeah, okay, Terry, thank you for that. She said it's insane in Chesterton right now, rain and wind. Okay, and Terry, it went from 0 to 60, did it not, in a hurry for you guys? All right, so here's our tornado warned cell. Just to kind of, every now and then I always like to just head out to the 20,000, 30,000 foot view of everything, what's going on here in the region. Because I love the fact that a lot of you are with me. I do appreciate that. But some of you don't need to be on this broadcast. You can go do laundry or get Sunday dinner ready, whatever it happens to be. And those folks would be our folks in Lake County, all right? Newton, Jasper County, you're clear right now. And even Valparaiso, you're clear right now. I'm going to clear out this area of Porter County. All right, the folks that should be on right now, unless you're weather junkie, that's fine. And again, the more the merrier. But the folks that should be on right now are our folks in northeastern Porter County, all of LaPorte County, all of Stark County. All right, that's our coverage area that's left. All right, all those folks still have a severe threat. For everyone else, it's rain, occasional lightning. The severe threat's over, and those temperatures are coming down. Okay, those temperatures are on their way down. Guys, I do, and this is a shameless plug, but I have all the sponsors you see there on the left-hand side of the screen. I work directly with them. Every single one is a family-owned or a family-run business, which is just amazing to me. They're all local. If you have any issues, whether it be an insurance claim from this action that's moving through and damage, if you have trees that came down that you need removed, if you have roof shingles that are off and you want to do it through insurance, whatever it is, please reach out to those sponsors, Romans Roofing, T&T Tree Service, PSA, our public service adjusters. All three of those are related to storm damage and can help you. The publicserviceadjusting.com, what they do is they come in, they take pictures, and they'll submit everything to your insurance company. You don't even have to contact your insurance company because we know they're going to short you. So please, that's for you. Again, all those sponsors are for you in terms of a reference point of where to start if you have wind damage, okay? All right, so here's what we're dealing with right now. Let me look at the wind. I just don't like the look of that in Michigan City. Oh, I don't like this. I would have, man, we need to carefully consider the potential tornado warning for this part of the storm that we're watching. If you're in Michigan City right now, I'm not saying there's a tornado coming, but I want you to get in your safe place right now as the storm moves in, okay? I don't like the look of this. Again, we've been talking about this part of the storm all along. You get this bowing segment, you get this inflow notch here. You can get a spin up right in this part of the storm system every time, and that happens to be where we are. It's likely also getting played with some lake air, cold air out over the lake is heavy and dense, and that kind of spills in as well. So that may help to aid just a little bit in some spin there. But Michigan City, I want you to be in your safe place. Trail Creek, Springfield, Long Beach, up towards Michiana Shores, Springville, Waterford, all those areas. Just do me a favor. Just go to the lowest floor in your house right now. If you don't have that, just keep this broadcast on and head to an interior room somewhere. You don't have to get uncomfortable right now. I'm not asking you to get in the tub or the bathroom or anything like that. But just a quick heads up, we need to be ready to react in case something does spin up from this, because that could happen pretty quickly. So again, that's Michigan City. That's only the extreme northern half of LaPorte County there, okay, up towards New Buffalo. All those areas, this storm is kind of a funky one right now, and I don't want a quick warning where we're not prepared for that. All right, down to the south, our friends in North Judson, the storm is through right now. Knox, heads up to you. You guys should be in your safe place from earlier when we were talking about it. There's still tornado warning for you. There's still rotation right here over Knox. It's not a surefire, it's not really well defined saying, oh my goodness, there's a tornado with this. But the potential is there, especially the way it looked back towards North Judson, that we have something going on within this storm, and it could be causing some rotation. You can see here, right there, it's so noisy, and it's really hard to see on here. But either way, there's rotation going on with this storm. It's the one we've been talking about. It's right here over Knox. That will get up into Hamlet and Grovertown and Donaldson. Those are all communities that we talked about earlier that will get up into your communities shortly. So all those areas, including Knox right now, make sure you are in your safe place. You need to be there right now, okay? That's interior room or basement, a closet. You want to get shoes on. I know that sounds weird. Put your shoes on if you have them. Flip-flops are fine. And you want to make sure, in the worst case scenario, you want to have a helmet on, okay? There's a lot of helmets around the house from all that stuff. There's all that. And so want to make sure that you're prepared for that. Those are all things you can do to keep yourself safe, okay? I've always said, my whole career of doing tornado coverage, it is not a fashion show, okay? We're not supposed to look pretty during tornadoes. You don't need to go do the makeup. Just get the helmet and the flip-flops on, all right? I know you're going to look ridiculous, but keep yourself safe during this. And there still is a real good sign of some rotation within this. This is an ugly storm over Knox right now, getting ready to head into Hamlet, okay? That rotation, we've got a lot of county roads here. I know it's rural, but that rotation is right over or north and east of Knox right now, okay? Just kind of for reference points. Look at this system. Look at this wind on this. Look at the line that it follows. This is your gust of wind that comes in, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 miles per hour. Look at the curvature to that. And it's this area right here up towards Michigan City I still don't like. There's not a reason for it to be warned right now. I would agree with the Weather Service not calling it, but there is some rotation. There's good inflow in here with this good push coming out. And you just picture what happens. It spins. If you do that with your hands, you get spinning air currents. So there's that. So Michigan City getting slammed right now. Let me go back to reflectivity. This is what we're dealing with on the radar front. So this is where our heavy rain is. Moving into Michigan City, getting hit pretty hard. LaPorte, you're getting rocked right now. This extends down into Kingsbury, Kingsford Heights as well, getting hit pretty hard. Knox. You've got the tornado warning in Knox, but on top of that, we've got real incredible winds coming down to the surface and real heavy rain. There's likely hail within that. Let me look at hail. We haven't looked at that in a while. It didn't give me a good read on. See, it's still behind. There's real good hail with this storm in Knox. This hail is a little bit behind. But we can kind of gather trend-wise where that hail is. And so we've got good hail heading into Michigan City there, probably real good hail over Knox, and then some down towards Winnemac as well. So these storms are producing some hail, but the biggest thing is that really, really strong wind. So let's take a look at what we've got going on right now. Here's your line of storms. We'll put kind of big picture on it. All this that you see back towards the west, all of this is what we call stratiform rain. And so it's just the general nice, calm rain that you get after a line of severe storms works through. You get occasional lightning strikes. Most of the lightning within that is cloud to cloud, but you should not be outside during that, even on the porch, because there can be some cloud to ground strikes within that. Look at all the lightning bolts we have with this line, though, out in advance. I mean, a lot of these are cloud to ground here with that main line as it continues to arc its way through the Hoosier State right now. But that's something that we need to watch closely, is that lightning threat, especially if you're out in advance of this. You need to get inside. If you hear thunder, remember Weather Service's thunder roars, you want to go indoors. That's absolutely true. A lot of lightning with this, but this is all stratiform rain back behind, which is kind of the calm after the storm, so to speak. All right. But we've got still the calm before the storm in areas that aren't seeing that wind yet, like New Carlisle, LaPorte, you are getting the wind. Rolling Prairie right now, we've got some storms just north of you. The bulk of it is in LaPorte right now, getting ready to head in. Let's go back to that wind radar again. I want to get a close look at this. Oops, wrong one. There we go. So here's our wind radar. And notice how we're having some problems on the outer edge of the radar. So I'm going to switch sources here and go over towards the northern Indiana radar, which will give us a better read of these storms. About time to switch there. Okay, there we go. So here are our storms. Colors have changed a little bit, all right? And that's because we're getting a read out of the east right now from our northern Indiana radar. It's closer to these areas we're seeing this, so we get a better read. But the colors have switched. You've noticed that. Some strong wind in Michigan City right now. Again, I didn't like what that wind was doing earlier. Let's see what it looked like on the northern Indiana radar as it was coming in. Yeah, a little pocket of strong wind. Oh, look at that, what's developed. So this is a pocket of strong wind that developed over Orchard Highlands, and it's heading north, actually. So Merrick, Michiana Shores, and Long Beach, for those folks in those communities, this wind is coming in from the south, and it's heading offshore. Should be offshore in another 2 minutes or so, but I could see some 60, 70 mile per hour winds heading over those areas. So Notre Dame Elementary School, obviously not in session today, but that's a good reference point for where these strong winds are right now. Michiana Shores and Duneland Beach, all those areas likely seeing some very strong wind right now with that little burst down to the south. LaPorte, the strongest winds are east of you right now. You're still getting some good gusts, but the strongest is east of you, getting into the Rolling Prairie area right here, down towards Stillwell right here, and then Kankakee and Walkerton. You're up next for that leading edge of strong wind that's pushing in. And then down towards the south, I don't see too much of a signal for rotation right now. I saw it there. It looks like things are becoming a little bit more linear with this storm down in areas of Stark County. That's some great news for our folks in Grovertown and Hamlet. Still a strong storm moving in. I mean, don't let your guard down on this. There's still damaging wind potential within this. But that tornado risk, I'm seeing it's kind of lessened up a little bit. So that's some good news for our folks down there. That will eventually get out into the Plymouth area here in not too long. So heads up to those folks as you get out into Marshall County. Okay. Off towards the north, here we go. Strongest wind still in LaPorte County, and this would include Long Beach. This is probably offshore now. And then Rolling Prairie getting into some strong winds on the leading edge of the storm as it's moving in. Let's go back to the reflectivity again. So there's our line. This line, just kind of big picture thinking again, this line is going to push across the state. It's going to get up into southwest lower Michigan. We're going to have problems along 94 in Michigan. All the beach communities will be seeing some strong storms from this as these come off of Lake Michigan in the Benton Harbor areas like Bridgman and Douglas and New Buffalo areas. And then down towards the south, let's take a look. I'm going to zoom out. We're going to lose radar once we get beyond this. Here are I'm just looking at kind of big picture where the warnings are. And you can see here are all the severe thunderstorm warnings here. We have the only tornado warning out of this whole line. And even that, I think our threat is over from that. We'll continue to keep an eye on it. More severe weather down here. We lost radar down here. I could go click on it. I'm not going to. And we've got more with the line here. These are all your warnings right now. But what we're seeing and what we're going to see rest of the evening is a big, long squall line like this. It might be broken in spots where it kind of leans back in areas. Downstate, I know they're going to get hit secondary. We've got this initial line here. Then there's a secondary line that's going to push in for areas that didn't see rain yet. But either way, this is the reason for that big severe weather threat from the Storm Prediction Center and from all your meteorologists as well, is because this giant line of severe weather is developing, and that giant line is going to push east. With quick spin-up tornadoes, yes, there's more of a tornado threat once you get down towards Tennessee and those areas. Even downstate has a better threat for tornadoes than we do, but it's really damaging winds. This is a surge of cold air coming in there, okay? So that's what we're seeing. All right, give me some, if you guys have any comments or anything like that for what you're seeing outside right now, please throw them in there. That would be great to hear. Oh man, April, I'm sorry to hear. She says my brother's barn totally taken down 5 minutes ago in Westville. Oh man, I hope everyone's okay. I hope no one was in it. Animals too. My goodness. Ray has 2 trees down in his yard. Jennifer, thank you for that update. Saying blowing real hard in Michigan City right now with the rain. Yeah, you're in the thick of it right now, Jennifer. Probably another 3 or 4 minutes. That heavier rain will lessen up a little bit, and the wind will as well. Laporte's getting hit hard right now. Brandon, you're welcome. I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words there. I do appreciate that. I don't always go back and read all the comments. I mean, the comment section for me, I've been in this career too long. I'll take anything with a grain of salt. If there's anything you'd like to see, I do take that to heart, and I would change it if I need. If there's something that I'm not giving you guys in terms of storm coverage you'd like to see, absolutely. But I usually don't have time to go through the comments afterwards, so it's there for you guys and reports and all that. But I do read these occasionally, so sometimes I'll pick up on words like that, Brandon. So I appreciate that. Yes, so Melissa says Valpo's calming down, neighbors' trees down, no power. Ugh. All over in South Haven. Yes, Rhonda, you're good. Portage, Megan, yeah, Portage is clear. So let me clear out some folks here. No, Mick saying, is it coming towards Illinois? No. Mick, you're done. Unless you're downstate Illinois, and then we're still dealing with some storms downstate. So, but if you're in the northern half of the state, no, we're done. You're getting colder now. It's probably in the 50s and 40s outside. Carlotta, thank you very much for that report. Roared through Valpo. It was a freight train. I haven't gone outside yet. Yeah, this wind was incredible. Just incredible. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of people that are saying, Sage yourself, thank you for that. I appreciate that. In terms of clearing out, there's still some people on here. Again, I would love to have you guys stay on here, but you don't need to, all right? There's no need for you. You need to go about your Sunday and enjoy the rest of your day. Areas that are cleared right now, that are severe weather clear, Lake County, know what county you're in, okay? Just do me a favor, know what your county is. Lake County, you guys are done. It's just raining right now. This is stratiform rain. You're fine. There's no severe weather threat rest of the day. It's getting colder. All right, we're talking 40s this evening. All of Porter County is now clear. All right, your severe weather clear the rest of the evening. I do appreciate you joining me, all those folks that are leaving right now. But again, you guys are completely severe weather clear. Get on with your dinner. Give us a like or a subscribe. That's all I need from it, just so we can contact you next time we have severe weather. Newton and Jasper County, you guys are completely fine right now. General rain will be coming to an end here shortly. You're good. Stark County, you're almost clear right now. LaPorte County, your county's about half clear right now, okay? And we're going to stick with LaPorte and Stark County until this storm's beyond the county borders, okay? So that's kind of our role here, all right? So let's get back to the radar again. So all those folks, no severe weather rest of the evening, okay? All right, damaging winds, leading edge of this, rolling prairie right now. Eileen, are you on here? If you are, what are you seeing right now? I know Eileen lives in rolling prairie area. She's been a region weather follower for a long time. Appreciate her. Stillwell, real strong storm moving through you. Damaging winds likely with this as it moves in. Kankakee, you as well. This is the Kankakee out in LaPorte County, not the one just to the west of Newton County in Lake County. Walkerton, hail just south of you, getting ready to move in. Hamlet, it's about done for you. The Hanna area, North Judson, you guys are severe weather clear. Wanata, Westville, you guys are severe weather clear. The worst is east of you right now. Let's go back to the wind. Ah, man, still ugly on here. Jeez. So we've got a couple notches we need to watch. Right here, it's interesting. It's not tornado warned worthy yet, but there's a notch. We're getting some notches in here. See how we get these little inflow areas? So down towards Donaldson, heading into Plymouth, there's another one here. This one I would kind of rule out, not too big of a deal. And then that real strong wind up towards Rolling Prairie, getting into New Buffalo. Those are kind of the areas along this line I'm watching. But that Fish Lake one's interesting here. Again, it shouldn't be tornado warned. All right, so there's that. But there's wind flowing like this, and then you've got wind flowing like that. All right, it's broad, and this happens all the time in storms, but that's something we're going to watch. That would be for Fish Lake, and then eventually getting into Crumstown, which is just outside of our coverage area. North Liberty heads up for you. And then down here towards Donaldson, that's something we need to watch as well. This is Marshall County, so we're not too concerned about covering that, but just a heads up for any of those folks out there. And then these real strong winds continue near Hudson Lake, Lake Park right now. Those are areas that we need to watch, okay? Eileen says major winds. Thank you, Eileen. I appreciate it. Hopefully everything's fine there. Let's see. Nancy O's Creative Life says, thanks, Portage, still raining and thunder. Thank you for that update, Nancy O's. I appreciate that. Jennifer's in Rolling Prairie. Lost the pool cover from strong winds. Jennifer's super strong. I mean, stronger than the last couple storms you've seen go through, because that is translating down to the surface. Good news is that things are getting lighter for you in terms of the wind. Bad news is the rain's going to continue. You've still got the rain and some hail around. So thanks for that update. Christopher, thank you. Dragica, thank you. Thanks for joining us. You're always with us. I appreciate it. All right. Eileen says major winds and rolling, lots of rain. We went into the basement to be safe. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that rain's still coming down for real heavy for about another 5 minutes for you. Okay. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. You're welcome, Naomi. Thank you. Shane McStabface. Thank you. Appreciate that. Like your name. Actually, I don't know. Angela says Knox can still hear the winds up in the atmosphere. Yeah, that wind is still howling up there. It's not going to come down to the surface anymore. That's the good news. No hail. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Jessica, thanks for the updating out of Crown Point. Haven't gotten any high winds or hail. You won't the rest of the evening. We look good. So there's that. Eileen says lights are flickering now. Rolling Prairie. Kimberly, thank you. You're done. We've just got rain for you. There's no severe weather threat. Mark, you're absolutely welcome. Thank you. That's awesome. Thanks for your rock symbol. Always appreciate you too, Mark. Sean says, the ducks are out of the pond running around partying in the rain, southeast Valpo. Yeah, they can. You know, those animals know. When the animals go away, you know something's coming in. When they head back out to play, you know it's fine. So tree down in Valpo. Thank you, Maria. Oh, man. Let's see. Deb says Chesterton is now in the clear. Chesterton is now clear. Yeah, you guys are good. Let's see. Cheyenne says Pulaski County had a fruit cheese knocked over in the yard, few shingles. Wow, no kidding. That's the cell down to the south here with some real strong winds. Yeah, for sure. You're done with it in Pulaski County. That's the good news. The worst is east of you right now. And again, guys, if you need reference, and it's a shameless plug, but if you guys need any roof services done, Romans Roofing does do insurance claims as well. So they'll do everything with your insurance company. If you guys have trees that need removed, TNT Tree Service, these are folks that I stand my name behind. So please reach out to them if you need any of that done. And if you have an insurance claim on your own property, publicserviceadjusting.com is the place to go. They do everything insurance-wise. So I've got you covered there. Okay, they're great, I promise. Bunny, thank you for that comment. I appreciate you being so nice. No, Tom, Valpo's done at this point. Valpo's just getting some good rain. You still have some lightning, so stay inside, but the bulk of this is now east, okay? All right, well, here's the deal. So these storms are now out of our coverage area, all right? I have to draw the line somewhere. I'd gladly cover them across the state, but, you know, we have a family of 4 kids as well, and it's a school night. We know how that goes. So, you know, we've got stuff to do in terms of family dinner, all that. And again, not to say that this is an inconvenience to me by any means, all right? This is my passion. I've done this 15 years, and I want to keep you guys safe as these storms move through. So that's the goal. But they're heading out of the area. If you do have friends in South Bend, if you've got friends over in the Goshen area, heads up to them. This line extends all the way down to the south. Kokomo about to get hit with these storms, eventually getting into Indianapolis. But the thing with Indianapolis, this main line off towards the north is going to scoot by to the north. They're going to be awaiting more of this back towards the west as that gets going. So there's a secondary line that's going to develop. But this line is going to head into Fort Wayne. You can just see it kind of gushing out here with the strong wind damage potential continuing all the way through the evening, all the way through the state. There are going to be a lot of power outages from this as this continues to race off towards the east. But all of us here, and I can officially say this, all of us here in Northwest Indiana are now severe weather clear. So it's a matter of cleaning up the damage and taking care of that stuff, okay? Seeing some reports coming in. Let's get through these real quick, and then I'll let you guys go. Power poles and lines down at Burlington Beach Road and Silhavie. Kathy, thank you for that. No power in Chesterton. Naomi, I hope we get that back on. Man, crazy. Wow, Jeff, I didn't see that picture showing up on Facebook. Overturned semis in 65. So semis will overturn when you have winds over 70. It tends to hit the side of that semi. It's got a lot of surface area, so that's a lot of force against that, and it'll take that trailer, flip it over first, and then obviously the cab goes with it. So that tells me, Jeff, that we had winds over 70 at times. So not good. Mary, we are not. And so we are not going to do our live broadcast tonight. That's a good question. Yeah, I was planning on doing this all along. We're not going to do our live tonight. We're going to do our live on Wednesday this week. All right. We'll have some posts on Monday mornings. I always do the week ahead forecast. So I'll do our official, again, it's not copy pasted from everywhere. It's my official forecasting. I'll do that on Monday. So we'll have the 7-day. We'll have a heads up for the week. I do want to alert everyone, though, we have a severe weather threat around here Wednesday. We talked about this last week for the potential of severe weather here and then another one after that. Wednesday, there's another threat of severe weather. So I do want to give a heads up to that. We'll have lots of information on regionweather.com throughout the week. If you're not signed up for those emails, go ahead and take time to do that. Again, regionweather.com. On the right-hand side of the screen or up top, depending on if you're mobile or desktop, you'll see sign up for emails. And it's just one a day. Today it was like 2 a day. I wanted to give you a heads up on the storms, but it's a forecast specifically for you, written by me. It's written by a person. Imagine that, not a bot. But anyway, a lot of you have signed up for those. I think we've got a ton of people signed up for those, and it's a great way to chat with you in the morning. I'll send it out when I'm at work and get it going. So there's that. Okay. All right, Craig, thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, let's see. Mary, it's just going to be colder. I mean, we'll be recovering for your birthday, and happy birthday to you. You've been such a good supporter. I hope you have a good birthday. April Fool's Day. I have a lot of people that I know that have a birthday on April 1st. I think 2 coworkers and then a niece. So real interesting you guys share that day. But it's going to be colder tomorrow. It's going to feel like an April Fool's joke tomorrow, but then we'll start to recover on Tuesday. But that severe weather threat, my goodness, on Wednesday looks almost as good as this one in terms of potential for it, okay? Brenda, your birthday too? Wow, that's awesome. Happy birthday to you guys. Jan, thanks. Jan says she loves the email. So there you go. Jan, thank you. You can be our official spokesperson. All right, guys. So just to recap everything, again, we've got damage. I know it, all right, from the severe weather going through. The severe weather is now east of us. South Bend is getting rocked right now. We've got what you're looking at here on radar is just a general moderate rain with some occasional lightning strikes. There's no severe weather threat rest of the evening. Our temperatures are coming down. It's going to be 40s by late evening. It's going to be colder tonight and tomorrow as well, but that cold is a sign of stable air, and that's certainly what we are. So still a few lightning strikes with this. I want you to be wary of that. Don't head outside until the rain is done. But overall, we're dealing with obviously much calmer conditions around here than what we've been dealing with today. Okay. All right. That's going to wrap it up. You guys you're welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for trusting us and again, taking time out of your day to join me on this. I appreciate it just as much, and I appreciate you guys. Guys, have a good Sunday night. We'll talk to you soon. We'll have another live broadcast on Wednesday, but we'll have good information coming your way on our webpage and on our Facebook page throughout the week. Okay? All right. Thanks, guys.